Hey guys, today we are here to take a look at the HHA Optimizer Tetra sight. Now this is a sight that was released earlier this year at the HHA show. I've had one on my bow for a couple of months now. Just wanted to give you guys kind of an overview of what this sight is and what some of the features are. So if you're familiar with HHA, they've been the leader in single pin adjustable sight technology for many, many years now. A couple years ago, they came out with the Kingpin, which was their first wheel forward design. And what that did for you was it eliminated some of the issues that people had with mounting their quiver with the original optimizers that either had the slider or had the dial here at the back, right? So with the wheel forward design, you've eliminated all issues with, quivers mounting on your bow. So the Tetra is going to be kind of the second generation wheel forward design, and I think of it kind of as the little brother to the Kingpin, right? The Kingpin is still the flagship model for HHA. It's their top of the line model. Features a lot of great technologies on it, but the Tetra also has some great technologies and some new stuff that the Kingpin doesn't have. So, the biggest difference that I find between the Kingpin and the Tetra is that the Tetra does not have the removable wheel system that the Kingpin has. This wheel is fixed in place. Now, that's not a big deal for most people that are only shooting a single arrow setup, but having that removable wheel on the Kingpin is nice if you're the type of person that likes to shoot multiple arrow setups. Maybe you like to shoot one for 3D, one for hunting. Maybe in my case, I like to shoot one for turkey hunting and then one for deer hunting. I shoot different arrows, which allows me to easily just remove the wheel that's got the correct tape on it for, let's say, my turkey setup and put my deer setup on. You do lose that ability with the Tetra, but like I said, for most people, not that big of an issue. They did redesign the wheel on the Tetra, so it's actually got this new shape that's a little bit easier to grab. It's not a round wheel like the Kingpin has, so a little bit easier to grab. It's got the same easy system where you just loosen this wing nut here and then you can adjust your sight up and down. So that's probably the biggest difference between the two sights. A couple new things that they changed on the Tetra is they've got an all-new micro adjust system on the front. So I'm not going to loosen this and play with it right now because this is my hunting bow. I'm getting ready to go hunt tonight and I don't want to mess with my sight in terms of my windage adjustment. But what you would do is loosen this up and then you can move the entire gang in and out. So there's a little bit better gang adjustment. Meaning you can move it in bulk and then you use the wheel here for your fine adjustments in and out. So actually they have changed that between the Kingpin and the Tetra. The other thing that changed on this particular rest is going to be the way that you can move in this, what they're calling their infinite adjustment on the actual scope, where the scope housing mounts into the sight bracket. So you'll see here on the side, you've got some witness marks that are laser etched into the sight itself. So I'll give you guys kind of just a quick look at how this sight goes together. So when you get it, in the box, it's going to come in two pieces. You're going to need to assemble it. It's super, super easy. All right. So you've got all of your mounting hardware, all of your instructions and your tapes and everything are in here, but you've got essentially your sight bracket here, and then you've got your scope and your scope housing. Now the way that this works, and this has actually got a small rubber band on it when you get it to hold these kind of brass washers in here, but the way that this works is these brass washers are actually going to slide into the sight housing. You can now slide this up and down. So you've got this infinite adjustment, whereas on the Kingpin, the sight housing actually bolted into the bracket, and if you wanted to move it, you needed to take those bolts out and move it into a new location. So the Tetra is a little bit more versatile in that regard. I know this is a big improvement that I personally liked. Allows for some a little bit easier fine tuning of the actual sight itself. So this moves up and down, and then once you get it kind of to where you want it, you go ahead and you tighten these down. That's also going to be your second axis adjustment is right here. So this sight, once you get it in there, is going to swivel kind of side to side to level your second axis out. Once you get everything put together, you've got 3 different mounting locations here. I generally prefer to mount my sight as far away from my bow as possible. So I'm going to use this back set of holes, and then you've got a 4th set of holes here, which allows you to mount your quiver bracket on there. I've got a tight spot quiver mounted on here. Works great, no problems. So that's kind of the overview of the Tetra. Again, it's kind of the little brother to the Kingpin. The cost is definitely a little bit less. You're looking at starting at $269 on the Tetra, whereas the Kingpin starts at about $379. So you're going to save a little bit of money on the Tetra. You don't get quite all the features. It is not available in a tournament edition with the dovetail mount. It is only a fixed mount. It's more of a hunting sight. Those of you who are looking for a target sight or want something where you can really get that eye relief, get your sight way out there, you're definitely going to want to still stick with the Kingpin. The last new thing I'll tell you about HHA changed for this year is going to be waterproof sight tapes, which is very much needed improvement in my opinion. So, you know, all of their sights are going to come with a bunch of tapes. I'm not going to go into how to sight in your single pin sight. There's plenty of other videos on that. But once you figure out which tape you need, all of the new tapes are now water resistant. So if they get wet in the rain, snow, sleet, whatever you may be hunting in, you don't have to worry about your tape falling apart and coming off. So that's a look at the HHA Optimizer Tetra. If you guys want to learn more about it, you can go to hhasports.com. They've got all the information there. Of course, if you guys want to buy one of these sights, check them out. Lancaster Archery has them in stock and ready to ship. And thanks for watching.